What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another edition of MVP Sports Live right here on either Twitch or YouTube. I am joined, as I always am, with my beautiful co-host, Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
And Dave, today's a special show. I don't know if you know this, but today is a very special show because it's the Halloween edition. Not the actual Halloween edition.
I forgot my costume.
Well, it's funny you say that. I have a little treat, so I'm going to turn off my camera really quick because you all know I have got to be in the festive mood. So I pulled out from the basement, Dave, because you know that's where every good old Halloween costume goes after you've used it. I don't know how long I'm going to wear this, Dave, but today your co-host, let's see if I can even see the button, is Batman.
That is awful.
I pulled out my old Batman costume with the cape. Got to get my cape all working there. And yeah.
That's a no from me.
It's a no for you? Gotta get my they look like rabbit ears because I can't see anything, Dave. I'm Batman. Do I resemble Batman at all?
No.
Dave's like, please take that off. We don't need to see that.
It's hard enough for people to take us seriously at times, and then with that on, it's too much.
I mean, you gotta have a little fun, Dave. Can't be all serious. Gotta have a little bit of fun. But yeah, welcome into the Halloween edition, the spooky edition, whatever you want to call that.
That was spooky.
Oh, it was. I will say, the thing my mom said about me when I put that on, I cannot say. Because it is, it's not advertiser friendly, Dave. It's not advertiser friendly. But we are back for another Football Friday, talking fantasy football and picks. Jesus Christ, that thing was hot. My nose is fucking
You wore
sweating.
it for like 8 seconds.
I know, but it's like the type of material like pressed against your head with these lights on.
Actually, I do have a flash mask.
Do you?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
It's like, I'll get it.
I'll get it.
You got to. It's the Halloween. It's the Halloween edition of MVP Sports Live. You got to get in the mood for things. Like, you can't be just sitting there not wearing a Halloween costume. But while Dave's doing that, I'll do the housekeeping. Number one, Discord. Join it. That link down below if you're on YouTube. In Discord, /Discord. Gets you the link to join the best community on the internet. All the real MVPs are in there. If you want to support us, check out patreon.com/MVP vids. There we go. See, you look more like the actual Flash than I looked like Batman, though. Like with that mask on, you could actually, like, you have the same facial structure as the Flash in the TV show.
A little Grant Gustin here?
Like, you can actually pull it off. I could not pull off any Batman. Maybe it's because of the beard. Maybe it's because of the old fat face here. What I really wanted to do is I was looking earlier to see if my mom had, like, an old fur coat. And I was going to do the Samuel... Samuel Tully? Yeah, from Game of Thrones. Because everyone says I look like him, but I couldn't find an oversized coat. That actually looks really good. Like,
it's Johnny got it for me.
I would have guessed you got it at Comic-Con. I would have guessed you got it at Comic-Con or got it from Johnny.
Yeah, it was definitely a Johnny. The problem is I can't hear real well because the lightning bolts are right in the ears.
It's that, or I was thinking like the latex.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
No, that looks really fucking good. That looks way better than mine. Mine was
I gotta straight. I'm looking like on the side, like, okay, am I on straight? No, gotta turn a little bit more.
Mine was an old, I wore that costume for my sophomore year, junior year.
It was that long ago?
Of college. Not of high school, it was of college. And the only reason I bought it was because I went to Party City with a girl, Dave, and she was like, we should have matching costumes.
Oh, okay.
And you know, that's how you buy most Halloween costumes, is a girl talks you into it, right?
That makes
That's usually
sense.
how anything gets done. But Patreon.com/MVP vids if you want to support our goofy asses with everything that we're doing. You can also support us by throwing us a sub on Twitch, twitch.tv/MVP vids, where we're live every Monday through Friday. And we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. But Dave, I will give you time to take off your mask. Yeah, it's a little toasty, isn't it? It's a little toasty. I know he can't hear me because he doesn't have the headphones on. Maybe you heard a little bit of it. It's a little toasty, isn't it?
Not really, actually.
Okay.
This material, not bad.
So it's very breathable, is what you're saying.
No, it's the opposite of breathable. I just don't sweat in 4 seconds like you do, Ricky. We got a little differences here, but
I would also think because of how did the hair feel in there? Would you have had to?
No, not bad. It's got a slit in the back.
Okay.
So yeah, it fit decent. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's fucking awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Just gonna drop that up for Johnny.
Yeah, that looks fucking cool. But
I gotta clean up. It's a little dusty.
Is it? Where'd you pull it out from?
It's very dusty. It was sitting in the closet on a shelf.
Well,
but I think it looked decent actually. I would flash up.
You should flash up. You wore a flash shirt. I think it was yesterday? No,
I wear
2
it
days
once
ago.
a week, to be honest. It's one of my favorite shirts.
One of the videos I was editing this week, you have your flash shirt on. That's why I remember that. But Dave, we got a jam-packed show today. Number one thing we got to talk about is the game that happened last night, or it was a slow game early on, picked up later, but hey, the Falcons got the win over the Panthers, and both you and I start this week going into picks 0-1.
8 in the L there. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater. I keep forgetting Teddy Bridgewater can't throw the ball downfield.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what about that confuses me all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, he can throw the ball 5 to 7 yards real well.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, literally game on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he do? That was a fucking pick. He just, and I mean, it was an awful throw. You could see the coverage, and you could see the corner coming over, and it was like, whoop, DB was going to pick that thing. You had a very small window, and you whiffed on it. Even his best receiver in DJ Moore, I consider his best receiver in DJ Moore.
Lately he has, yeah.
He was pissed because he didn't get to touch the ball until the fourth quarter, until their final drive of the game. He gets a big run where he throws his defender down. And I mean, it was a 13-yard completion.
Yeah.
But he must have run about 20 yards, because he went back to the middle, then back to the outside.
Yeah.
Threw a defender down, was popping off, had one more big catch down the right sideline. But, he just can't do it. That's the problem with Teddy Bridgewater. He is a limited quarterback. Now, what helps with that? Well, Christian McCaffrey's coming back. You don't really have to throw the ball very far with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, the only reason he was the only reason he was out this game is because it was a Thursday night game. If they would have played on Sunday, McCaffrey would have been playing this week.
Yep.
So I mean,
it's a tough one for the Panthers. I think they are a good team. I'm honestly a little shocked at how well that game went for the Falcons. It did feel like a very Falcons-y game at the end, though, with that drive just going and going and going. I was like, oh no, it's happening.
I just
the commentators even said on TV, you can see it on the defenders' faces. They know what's coming. Did you just bury these guys?
Yeah, I mean, this Falcons offense, this is what I expected all year. An offense that can actually, score points, win games. They've done it the last 3 weeks. In the last 3 weeks, they're now 2-1.
Yeah.
So
the Panthers are 0-3 in their last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I got hot on the Panthers with picks, and then I fucking started falling in love with them. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta divorce. I have to divorce the Panthers. I gotta divorce the Panthers. I don't know if I could pick them again, Dave. But the real first topic. What?
Oh.
No.
I want to ask. Calvin Ridley's health at this point? I know he was unable to finish the game.
No, I have not heard anything. I have not heard or looked or seen anything about Calvin Ridley. All I know is that Matthew Berry eats the L yet again on Todd Gurley. I don't know if he's flipped and now he loves Todd Gurley, but all year I was telling you beforehand, Dave, for fantasy it was I wouldn't start Todd Gurley this week, and I was like, the Gurley men have to start Todd Gurley. It's in our name. And he's been doing well. Only 2 weeks where he's burned me with only 6 points. But Dave, the first real story we have today before the fantasy football and the picks, this broke right as we were ending the show yesterday where we did our mock draft. And literally right when we were done, Dave's like, holy shit, this just happened. Trevor Lawrence has COVID, and the information that's coming out, first off, before we get into everything, I'm going to go the same route that, Stephen A. did on First Take that everyone's doing is like, obviously we hope Trevor Lawrence recovers from this. He's well from this. No ill will of any sort. But the story that we have right now is apparently from Wednesday as the start date, he's got a quarantine for 10 days. None of the other quarterbacks have to quarantine because Trevor Lawrence lives alone. He doesn't live with football players. So, I mean, that's a good thing. And the other thing is that, all the quarterback meetings were done virtually. So no one in the quarterback room had contact tracing with Trevor Lawrence the last few days. So
I want you to try to pronounce his backup's name.
Oh, fuck. I listened to Alawale or something like that. It's like Amawale. I'm not looking at it. That's one.
You're in the right area.
I listened to a video today where she's a reporter for ESPN, talked about it in the video above her article, and she said it. And I just remember the Wale part at the end of it. But
Wale is the new Clemson quarterback.
Wale! Yeah, he gets the start. But I mean, Dave, my question is, what does this mean for college football? What does this mean? Because, like, the X's and O's are like, they'll win this week. They don't need them against Boston College. People want to talk about, like, he missed Notre Dame and stuff, which I got a sidebar about that later. But what does this mean for the greater picture, for everything? Because, like, I was reading an article today where it's like, Trevor Lawrence might be under scrutiny because he's not only the face of college football right now, he was the face of the Let Us Play movement that basically got this whole thing rolling so that we could have a college football season this year.
Now, I've heard some spiteful people already talk about things like, I hope he feels its effects. I hope he understands that this can ruin people's lives. And I'm not wishing, death on him, but there were a lot of spiteful fans out there. I don't know if they're like Bama people or what. That whole like SEC rivalry shit is going on down there. But I read a lot of negativity about like, I hope he loses his taste. I hope he has, long-lasting effects from this, and it's not just, I've got it, but I don't feel anything from it, kind of a thing. Like, this is some weird shit. People, this is college football. It's not everything. B, this is someone's life. Maybe don't wish harm and illness on them. Like, that's a good starting point as far as not being a human being. As far as being a human being, don't wish ill will on others. There's just some human basics out there, because I couldn't believe what I was reading out there when it comes to his illness. Now, I agree with you as far as, this game this week doesn't really matter. Clemson's team is so good, it doesn't matter who they put out there. I'm pretty sure their second stringers will be out there before the game is over. I don't expect this to be like a Rutgers kind of situation with some surprises in there. So it should be a good game for them. Now, as far as Trevor Lawrence being the face of the Let Us Play and the face of college football, he is. He's been huge. So with him going down, I don't think it's not a surprise to anyone who follows what's going on in the world, to me. Like, that's just like, it's bound to happen to a majority of players in this league with the way they are gathering in large groups, with the way that they're living their lives and on college campuses, which are notoriously horrible for spreading the virus. Like, everything about this screams this shouldn't work out perfectly, and there's no way that they're going to survive a whole season without anyone on the team getting it. So statistically, it was bound to happen to somebody on that team. Now, Trevor Lawrence, it's unfortunate that happens to the wonder kid out there, but he'll be fine, hopefully long term. Like, we don't know what the effects are, but like in the short term, it's just like, hey, hopefully he stays home, keeps himself healthy, and gets back out there. I hope he doesn't play against Notre Dame, because fuck Notre Dame.
Well, I mean, actually that would help Notre Dame, because odds are Notre Dame could probably win that game.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence ain't playing. I don't think they can.
They might lose that game, but it doesn't really like.
I want Notre Dame to lose to Trevor Lawrence's backup, because I hate Notre Dame that much. I'm sorry, Sean Anderson. That one's for you.
My thing is, I agree with. So on First Take, they asked Paul Feinbaum what he thought, and I was honestly shocked to hear this out of Paul Feinbaum, because I haven't. heard him, like, since the pandemic, I shouldn't even say that, since the whole college football season started, I haven't listened to I don't listen to First Take as much as I used to. I don't listen to Paul Feinbaum this college football season, and I just expected, because he's mostly covering the SEC, that, oh, he's just going to fall in line with the SEC. And I was shocked to hear him say in his talk about Lawrence that he hopes that Trevor Lawrence does not come back to, like, become, like, basically he doesn't want to happen where Trevor Lawrence misses Notre Dame, they lose to Notre Dame, he comes back after, and then boom, he's the savior for Clemson, because...
Well, what if they miss Natty?
Yeah, but he was saying, like, because he was like, this disease is more important than football. And, like, it took me back, like, holy shit, Paul. I did not expect that. Like, it's bad when I don't expect the obvious to come out of people's mouths. But that's the world we live in.
He's a well-respected, officially reporter, right? Yeah. Or is he a
reporter, like radio host? He has the Paul Feinbaum show on SEC.
Whatever. Yeah. He is fairly intelligent. Like, he's one of those guys who I'm like, okay, I can listen to him talk, because he's not just out there for sound bites and grabs on the radio.
Until his listeners call, then the sound bites happen.
It's a different story, Ricky. You are absolutely right. But no, I'm refreshed to hear that, because again, it's admitting that football isn't the be all end all of life, and I think that's a shocker for a lot of people who live in college towns. Yeah, and a lot of people who follow college football.
I mean. The thing that, and I just want to pose this out there, because, of course, what you were saying, like, anyone who's saying, like, I wish ill will on Trevor is an asshole. Like, just 100%. Put him in that boat. But could you, because in my head, I'm thinking, can you understand somebody who might sit there and go, let's say they were against college football starting because they're like, this is more important than football.
Yeah, right here.
Can you understand if someone goes, well, you know, I hope he gets well, but, you know, karma's a bitch kind of a thing. Like, especially with the we want to play, leading that movement. Also, the thing I thought about today, it's kind of ironic that he makes comments about the draft about, like, oh, well, we'll see. Anything could happen. Boom, COVID.
I mean, what's next? He says anything will happen, and then he'll go out there and get, what you call it, Alex Smith? Like, are you saying karma's a bitch to that degree? Like,
I mean... I don't want to say sympathize, but like
this is horrible.
Obviously, like, wishing ill will, but it's like, to me, I look at this and
you get what you get sometimes. That's what it is. Like, you want to play football, you got to play football. Yeah, now you knew the risk, you got COVID, you have to deal with the consequences of that. Now we don't know the degree of those consequences, but whatever they are, you will have to deal with them. Yeah. I think that's a fair statement. I don't get whatever about that. I get upset when people are like, I hope he has, like, lung damage and shit like that. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I mean, to me, I
mean, it is a cesspool and all, but, like, still.
Like, I see that when someone who says something like that, the way I look at them is, well, I look at it in two ways. They're either an Alabama fan that's still butthurt that Clemson beat them so many times, or it's somebody to where it's like, even though, like, we can sit here and go, oh, well, these college kids, Dave, we can call them kids now because we're in our 30s now. It felt weird being, like, early 20s calling them kids.
To be 31.
Yeah, that's going to happen. That's what, 11 days, 12 days away, Dave?
I don't want to know.
You're officially entering the 30s.
Not a good feeling.
But, I mean, like, I feel like the other part of it comes from a little bit of jealousy in that sense. Of, like, these college kids, especially like someone like Trevor Lawrence, is basically a superstar. Is basically a famous athlete already, to where it's like, I just see that as you're either butthurt because you hate Clemson, or you're just jealous because of this celebrity got it and you didn't agree with their view of it. I mean, the thing that upsets me, and this has nothing to do with Trevor Lawrence, this is what I found out today about the College Football Playoff Committee, is... On ESPN First Take, they showed the rules, and one of the bullet points said that the committee will take into mind which players are missing due to COVID. So, like, to me, here's my problem from this. Yeah. If Clemson, let's say he doesn't play against Notre Dame, and they lose, and then he comes back and leads them down the way. basically that loss doesn't matter because Trevor Lawrence wasn't out. Like, I get that injuries happen. Like, to me, it's like, oh, like a COVID absence is different than a random injury. So basically, Alabama, if they lose any game this year, doesn't matter because they didn't have Jalen Waddle, because they didn't have their top receiver out there. So you know what? Let's put them in the college. Like, to me, I saw that and I was like, a COVID absence should be treated like an injury. That's how it should be treated. It shouldn't be its own special thing of like, well, you know what? If we weren't in this day and age, that wouldn't have happened. So, you know what? That loss, we're going to give you a pass, Clemson, and we're going to have you go in.
I'm 100% in agreement with you here, Ricky. I think that this season already is going to have an asterisk on it. And by creating
every
excuses,
season so far, people are saying
baseball, that. NFL, and MLB NBA is the same thing I said, MLB and baseball. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, NBA.
Thank you. All sports will have an asterisk this season. Now, that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means this year had different circumstances than every other year we've seen for the last who knows how long.
Yeah.
So when you look at this season, like, there's already going to be an asterisk there. So why are you making special rules up to protect teams now? Like, this feels like a little bit of favoritism. Was this statement made before Trevor Lawrence, or was this something that has just been?
I believe this was put in place before the season.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm still inclined to go on the side of an injury is an injury. The best ability is availability, as we often mock around here. I can't understand, like, what if we're in a situation where Clemson does lose to a Notre Dame and there's an undefeated team who is right at the top? Like, what do you do in that situation?
I've got that team for you, Oklahoma State, where they now, that's an interesting situation too, because that got rescheduled, where they had a game canceled against Baylor. They're going to play that later on. They're a team, they're one of the only teams in the Big 12 right now that is undefeated. So, like, basically now how the rankings are, it's, let's say Alabama goes undefeated, they're in. If Ohio State and Notre Dame go undefeated, they would be in because Notre Dame would have beaten
Clemson. If they beat Clemson, that's a quality victory that I don't think anybody can match.
Then if there's no changes in losses, it's basically a one-loss Clemson, a one-loss Georgia, and then an undefeated Oklahoma State and Cincinnati. Like, if I'm Oklahoma State or Cincinnati, I look at that and go, well, why should Clemson get even fucking Georgia with the one loss? Wait, why should their one loss not count when we lost to Alabama? Like, we 100%. Lost to the number one team. They lost to Notre Dame, who would be the third team. Why is their loss lesser than ours? Like, that's the debate that's going to create within the college football playoff committee.
No, you're 100% right. It's frustrating to say, like, the college committee is never fair. There's always going to be questions. There's always going to be people saying it should be so-and-so who makes it in. The problem is that there's no 100% answer.
Yeah.
And until we continue to expand these college playoffs to the point where I think we're all expecting it'll be an 8-team, it'll be a 10-team. What's that final answer going to look like in about 5 years, 6 years from now?
Let's just make it a 64 team slate like college basketball, Dave. Let's just do that.
They play 5 regular season games in conference, 2 out of conference, that 7 total games, and then after that starts the tournament.
Yeah, the college football tournament, baby.
Hell yeah.
That's what you got to do. That creates fucking instead of March Madness, we can call it October. It would be like
it would be like November. 7 games in would be November or December. November.
See, March Madness works because it's like MM. Like, I don't know if there's
got to be. It could be December something. It could be like December.
December destruction.
Something dumb, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this will be interesting.
Going to have attorneys in the future. I'm not concerned about that. But right now, yes, you're right. This puts the people who make decisions into a difficult position.
Yeah.
And I would prefer to see. Here's the problem. I would prefer to see Clemson because they're the better team. Now, apologies up front to the Georgias, the Notre Dame, to all those teams at the top. OK States, you're not better than Clemson. Like, if Clemson loses, Clemson's still a better team. They just lost that given Saturday. That's the problem. We all know that Clemson is a top 3, maybe top 4 at the worst case team in college football. So They got to find a way to make sure Clemson just makes it in by a hair.
Yeah,
no matter what happens.
This should be Trevor Lawrence, if he misses Notre Dame and they lose, should be treated like any other injury. Should not be any special.
I think Clemson wins that game even without Trevor Lawrence.
And that's a different discussion.
Fucking sent back to reality.
Yeah, I mean, it's Notre Dame. When have they ever won the big game? Never. Go back to ask Manti Te'o how that went.
Ask Manti Te'o's girlfriend how that went.
Now you see where I was going with that one. Great, I like it.
It looked like a bunch of junior high kids.
Oh my god, that game was horrible. I laughed uncontrollably because, like you, Dave, I hate Notre Dame as well. I don't know if your hatred comes from this to where me it was growing up on the south side of Chicago. It's just everybody and their grandmother was a Notre Dame fan to where you were just I fucking hate you.
Yep.
And maybe it's because I wasn't Irish that also fucking fit into it as well.
I'm Irish. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I know. But for me, it was I wasn't Irish, and it's I couldn't stand Notre Dame. Fucking Golden Domers. I couldn't fucking stand them. But Dave, let's get into the fantasy football side. We got some good topics today for fantasy football. The first one, I own both of these guys, so I am one of these owners that we are speaking of. One in one league, one in another league. Mike Evans and DK Metcalf. There are some worries between fantasy owners. Let's start with Mike Evans. I think that's the one that's the kind of the more discussion here. Should fantasy owners be worried about Mike Evans long-term rest of the season, Dave?
I want to say no. I mean, this is a situation where they're bringing in someone who is incredibly talented in Antonio Brown, but at the same time, he's incredibly combustible.
Yeah.
This could be a 1 week deal. This could be a 2 week deal. This could be a 3 week deal, and it could be gone after that. The upside is he does not cause an issue for Mike Evans' role on this team. Mike Evans, as a role wide receiver, is to go big plays over the top and to be a red zone target. Now, the only better red zone target on this team is Gronk himself. Yeah. So Antonio Brown will slash up the field. That's his jam. He covers the slot receiver position. So the only guy who really suffers from this is Scotty Miller. I'm not super concerned with Mike Evans outside of his health. That's the only thing, because I swear to God, he's just never getting healthy. I don't understand. I think him playing on this injury week over week over week has caused him to just continually not get healthy. So when is their bye week?
Their bye week is 13.
Oh, that's late.
Because I don't know if that was jumbled up in the COVID stuff or if that was their original bye week. But it is 13
either way, it's
now.
incredibly late. So that's rough for him. You'd like to see that earlier, so that way he would be able to take that week of rest and hopefully get 100%. Yeah. But I think Mike Evans will be back probably 100%, maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks out. Antonio Brown does not scare me off of Mike Evans. If you're thinking of him as a touchdown or bust target, which he is in my mind, that's what makes or breaks him. So that he still is. I don't think that lowers that percentage by anything.
Yeah, the thing that this week, I'm at the point where. So Mike Evans this week does not scare me, mainly because Chris Godwin's out. He's not playing this week. So this week, what is Tom Brady just going to throw to Gronk and Scotty Miller exclusively? He's got to throw to Mike Evans, right? You would think.
Well, he does have Rojo and Fournette.
You would think. The thing that worried me about Evans is that combined the last 2 weeks, he's only had 4 targets. He's had 2 against the Packers, 2 against the Raiders, and I have Godwin stuff up because he's missed games as well. He missed Chicago and the Charger game, 15 points against the Bears, 25 against the Chargers is what Evans had. And then the game against Carolina that Godwin wasn't there, 23 points. So you're looking at that and you're like, cool, Evans should have a good game.
He should thrive, 100%.
In this one, but it's that fucking Denver game. He still had 14 points. He still had in those 4 that's the thing. When Godwin's out there, 4 targets against the Saints, 4 targets against the Broncos, 2 against the Packers, 2 against the Raiders. When Godwin is playing, the only way Mike Evans is basically worth it is if he's getting a touchdown, which he got 2 against the Broncos, 1 against the Saints, did not see a touchdown against the Packers or the Raiders, where it's if God, and like you said, Antonio Brown doesn't scare me, but Godwin does, because if Godwin's out there, Tom Brady's going to Godwin and not necessarily Mike Evans, unless it's a red zone target and you miraculously get a touchdown.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
What about the other side, Dave? Metcalf had a bad week fantasy-wise. Yet again, Tyler Lockett, though, had fucking 15 catches in that game. Should owners be worried about DK Metcalf?
I mean, should you be worried about who's at the door?
No, it's a package. I'll get it later. It's probably just a package. That's what it is 90% of the time.
Should which owners be worried about what? I'm sorry.
DK Metcalf. Should DK fantasy owners who own Metcalf be worried?
No, he's a physical specimen out
Dave's
there.
Like, I'm one of them, so I hope not.
I'm a DK Metcalf owner. I don't want to jump off that train. I will continue to believe in DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just like the game and the situation turn into Tyler Lockett cutting up teams.
Yeah.
Better answer. Now, was DK Lockett being shadowed across the field like a Chase Claypool? No.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have the same exact excuse that I had for Claypool last week, but he was being covered by decent people. So like, I'm going with it's a slump. It's a play calling slump against him. I think that there's nothing. I think that there's something to be worried about, but I don't think you pull the ripcord on DK Metcalf quite yet.
I agree, but I don't agree. I agree that you don't pull the ripcord. He's still a for sure start. But I disagree that there should be some worry, but it's not about the Seahawks. It's about who they're playing. Because the Cardinals were, and this is NFL, were the 18th toughest team against wide receivers fantasy-wise. The Seahawks' next three opponents, the Niners, who are the 5th toughest, the Bills, who are the 7th toughest, and the Rams, who are the 2nd toughest against receivers.
Let me remind you, the Niners, what number were they?
They are 5th.
Now, who have they played this year?
They lost to the Eagles, so really they fucking shit the bed against the Eagles. Let me pull up their schedule. I do not have their schedule in front of me.
This is the problem. I'm pretty sure.
So you're saying these teams are playing bad teams?
Yes, I'm telling you, they played the East. They played like the Jets, the Giants, shit like that. That's why their numbers are inflated. That's my argument against the Rams.
Yeah,
the Rams have beat down on shit teams, including the Bears. We don't have a quarterback, so the Rams look great.
The Bills have played the Jets twice, which right there tells you that. They've played the Jets twice, the Dolphins once. The Rams, the Raiders, the Titans, and the Chiefs have been the Bills' opponents.
Yeah, so they played like 2 teams out of 7 who had elite receiving talent.
Yeah, the Rams, let me pull them up really quick. They have played the Bears last week, the Niners, Washington, Buffalo.
None.
Philly, Dallas, and the Giants. Yeah, you're right. They played
one team. I take it back because Stephon Diggs is elite talent. I will say that. But outside of that, like, you have to. That's the thing. Level of competition. You can't just look blindly at the number. You can't be a box score watcher when you look at fantasy. And I hate this because I'm an uber fucking nerd sometimes about this shit.
I mean,
but it is like number.
You make a good point because the Niners too. Giants and Eagles are there. The Jets are there. The Dolphins are there. Really, the only teams they've played are the Cardinals week 1 and the Rams last week, because even the Patriots last week, like, the Patriots are shit in the bed right now. Yeah. So good point. Lawyer, I stand corrected.
Again, like, they're scary on paper, but when you look behind the curtain, guess what? Wizard Oz, bitch.
Yeah.
Ain't that scary?
Good point. Plus, the one thing I will say is I don't know if any of these teams, really the scariest player, like, the only 2 players that worry me if you're a DK Metcalf owner is, 1, Aaron Donald, because if he can get after Russell Wilson, but at the same time, Russell Wilson has legs.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's why it doesn't worry me. And then Mackenzie Alexander, if he's playing for, or no, it's not. It's Tavares. Fucking what's his name? Clemson corner. That Bill's injured corner. If he plays, he's the only one that's like, okay, is he going to be guarding Metcalf?
There's a couple of shutdown corners in the NFL. I agree. The pass rush up front will bother Russ, but he has the speed, like you said, to roll out, to move the pocket, and to reset and throw downfield. Now, that's why I'm like, yes, there are great people in the NFC East. I'm sorry, NFC West.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that there's anybody who's going to really stop him. I think it's just play calling has tended to go one way, and DK Metcalf runs about 25 miles a fucking hour,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna get his touches. He's gonna get his touchdowns. It's just a matter of matchups.
Tre'Davious White is who I was thinking of.
Yes.
Tre'Davious White, not Clemson. I believe he was LSU. I think Tre'Davious White was LSU. Mackenzie Alexander, who I was thinking about originally, I believe was Clemson. But if White is playing, that is one where it's like, okay, that one kind of worries me a little bit. Let's move on quarterback, though, Dave. I have this quarterback. And for this week...
Is this just to help Ricky with fantasy? I have this wide receiver.
No.
I have this quarterback.
No, Dave, because if you let me finish, I have pulled the ripcord on this quarterback for this week. I have pulled the ripcord. I'm not starting him. Big Ben against the Ravens. One of the main reasons why I did this, too, is Derek Carr was available. I like that matchup a little bit better against the Browns. Should fantasy owners who have Big Ben be worried and look for a different option just for this week because of how tough that Ravens defense can be?
I'm leaning into this one.
Okay.
I'm starting 2 receivers from the Steelers in this game.
What, Jones and Claypool?
Yeah, Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, Mapletron over there, who got blanked last week, which sucked.
Yeah.
I'm leaning in. I'm like, could I get some free easy points with Amari Cooper? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I bother with that? I'm going all in.
Yeah.
I think that this team for Pittsburgh is incredible. I think they are so fucking good at football. And again, all they've done is just win every single week. Like, that's the thing. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think the Ravens have a great defense? Yeah, they've got a very good defense. Now, if I can recall, there's another team that's elite on offense that seemed to just kind of knife through butter their defense. Might be Patrick Mahomes.
Is Big Ben anywhere near Patrick Mahomes, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think Mahomes is better than Big Ben by a lot.
Wear helmets outside. Like, that's where we're at. Like, he is so disrespected at this point. Big Ben is such a good quarterback.
Oh, he's a good quarterback, but he's not like Patrick Mahomes is different.
Here. Then you got like A-Rod, you got
Russell Wilson,
Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. Well, I'm sorry, Russell Wilson's above A-Rod.
Yeah. Above A-Rod, above Patrick Mahomes.
No, like Big Ben and the offensive weapons on that team are in a category of their own. They have more weapons than anybody outside of the fucking Chiefs. So like they should be the second favorite team in the NFL, period. Bar none. It's Patrick Mahomes. I don't care about that loss because it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And then I look at that Pittsburgh team because their defense is elite, which means, guess what? Time of possession will play a big deal in this game. We know that Lamar Jackson gets stuck in a rut when it comes to that run game. If the Pittsburgh Steelers can duplicate anything close to what the Chiefs defense could do, which they have more talent on their side to pull that off schematically, I 100% buy into that. And Ingram isn't healthy, which means that we're kind of on Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, who so far this year, not thrilled with your production, J.K. Dobbins. Kind of regret holding on to you this whole season. Not salty, but salty.
Tastes like not salty at all, right? Not salty at all.
The point is, I think that time of possession will play a big key in this game, and I think that they will be able to move the ball on this Baltimore defense. I'm not afraid of them. I don't think that they're going to get embarrassed like some other teams out there have been by Baltimore. I think this game will be good, but I still think that Pittsburgh is going to put up over 30 points.
Yeah, I mean, so looking at the Ravens this year and the quarterbacks that they have gone against, where the first one was Baker Mayfield, looked like shit because, you know, Baker can't play real opponents and win. They only put up 6 points. Deshaun Watson didn't have a great game. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 275.
Bill O'Brien's fault.
Pat Mahomes, 34 points in that game. Then, you know, was that the Deshaun Watson game? Yeah, he did. Or not Deshaun Watson, Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins game, because Kyle Allen wasn't in yet. Then the Joe Burrows, they beat a rookie who, yes, he's been looking really good, but like Burrows even into that game, I was a little sus of him because it was in an interview he said, you know, he is, because he was like, oh, when I'm watching film, it's like I kind of have a hard time watching the defense and I just watch Lamar Jackson. So right there, I was like, okay, like I'm a little sus of you heading into that game.
Defenses?
Hey, it's just one of those things. It's a comment he made, and I question. And then the Eagles were Carson Wentz had a had a good game against Baltimore. So maybe it's just me being. This is one where maybe this is just me saying, I don't think Big Ben's gonna shit the bed, but like, is he gonna put up the 22, 21 points he put up against the Giants or the Eagles, or is this gonna be more of a 18, 19? Because like. Big Ben the whole year hasn't been like mucho fantasy points. It's been okay. He's a reliable starter. He'll get you enough points to where you're not like, okay, it wasn't a waste playing him in fantasy.
I think it probably goes like 3 touchdowns, 1 pick for about 240 yards. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3-1 and about 240.
So you're thinking that would be about 21, 22 points. Because that's what he had against Philly. And he
didn't have an interception, so he'd lose a couple points. But yeah,
good point.
You're right in that 20 range.
Yeah, okay.
that sounds about right for him.
Yeah,
I think that last week Tennessee, different level of defense. Like that is a scary defense, and you could see the mistakes he made. I think he learns from that. I don't think this is a situation where Baltimore is going to be able to be like, oh, we're Tennessee, we got same game plan, just bring it on in. Like they can't do that. Can't do it overnight.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say about this is that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I felt like there was a discussion. There was no one clear answer. I will say, though, if you're like me, if there is a quarterback out there that you feel more comfortable in, like I saw Derek Carr, and I'm like, because I'm so questioning Big Ben, I can play Carr against the Browns this week and feel confident in that pick. So it just depends also what's out there for this week. Because even with the Ravens defense in our other league, Dave, I ain't playing them. I'm playing the Eagles against the Cowboys instead and trying to roll the dice on that one. Last fantasy thing, well, 2 more, but one's kind of a little quickie, like quick fire thing. Allen Robinson. So Matthew Berry this week had an interesting thought that I wanted to bring up, where he said after the Allen Robinson game that he had against the Rams, there were a lot of fantasy owners panicking about Allen Robinson, that what should they do with him? Should they look to move him? And he brought up the point of, if you are somebody that needs a wide receiver or needs a start him and forget him wide receiver, buy low right now on Allen Robinson, because people might be grading him low. 10 points against Carolina, 11 points against the Rams. After the Saints, he's got Tennessee, Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, Houston, and Minnesota. Every one of those teams, except for the Packers, gives up yards to wide receivers. Do you agree with Matthew Berry, Dave, that people should be buying low on Allen Robinson, and people with Allen Robinson should be weary about getting basically trade something that used to be said in the league?
If you're in a situation where you need a better running back or a kind of a big play wide receiver, and you get an opportunity, feel free to make that deal and trade away Allen Robinson. But like, he's getting the targets. Like that's not the problem. He is out. He is doubtful this week with concussion still, so I don't expect him to play against the Saints team. Probably not going to be a big deal anyway, because I've heard the winds through the game are expected to be somewhere around 20 to 35 miles an hour. Yeah. So expect a whole lot of Cordero Patterson runs out in the fucking flat, and I'm going to bounce my head off a table all Sunday.
At least you got Alvin Kamara, right, Dave? That should be good for you.
As a Bears fan, it hurts me. But as a fantasy fan, Alvin Kamara is about to pull down about 25, 35 points on Sunday. So, like, I'll take the wins where I can. Yeah. Now, Allen Robinson, you mentioned it. He's facing a lot of teams that give up a lot of yardage. So I'm absolutely saying if you can get him for cheap, do it. Try to cash in. Try to make a deal happen if you're looking for a wide receiver who's going to average about 8 targets a week and pull down a good chunk of that. Regardless of who the quarterback is in Chicago, he's still our best wide receiver. You should absolutely go for that kind of a deal.
Yeah, to me on the other side, I look at it and I go, I want to speak to the Allen Robinson owners of, don't, just because of what you've seen the last 2 games, don't give him up for nothing. Know the value that you have there. Because I'm going to be honest, I can say this because I know he doesn't watch our shows. In the MVP league, Dave, or is it the other league? I don't know what. It's the same guy in each league. I just don't know which league it is. I'm making a run in one of my leagues for Allen Robinson. The
Yep.
person who has it, I am going to kind of lowball them with it's a position that they need, but it's a guy that I have not started a single game this year that
Yep.
I'm hoping that they're just going to be like, well, hey, I could use that and go ahead and take him. So if you're an Allen Robinson owner, don't get fooled by people. Don't get a worse offer than what you have, because like Dave said, he's going to get the targets. Who else is Nick Foles going to throw to on that team? Like maybe, Komet gets a touchdown in the red zone. Maybe.
Demetrius Harris gets equal snaps. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good point. Maybe Jimmy Graham's in there one play and he gets a touchdown, Dave. You never know.
Maybe we should pull all our tight ends off the field in the red zone, because who needs big targets, easy targets?
Yeah. That's
a Bears rant right now.
I don't want to pick the bear, Dave. I'm not going to poke the bear. Dave, the last thing, quick replacements. We got Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones out. You are trying to get the replacement. One of the replacement for Aaron Jones. I have in the MVP league.
Sanders.
Yes.
How about you fucking stop picking running backs to get hurt, Dave? Can you do that? No. That's why my name is Injured Reserve. All I do is bring players. I apologize to anyone who I drafted.
Yeah. Dave, is there anybody this week running back wise that you're thinking could be someone that, hey, if you've got Mixon, got Jones, go ahead, pick him up?
Obviously, if you can go get Williams in Green Bay, go ahead and pick him up, because he's going to continue to get the large majority of shares up there. A.J. Dillon got a couple snaps, but clearly not even close. It is definitely a Williams game to have. So look at Williams. I grabbed Malcolm Brown personally. Yep. I understand the split they're doing over there, I should say, not up, over there in Los Angeles for the Rams. He will still get his touches. It will just be likely in passing situations more often than not. So he's a safe middle kind of pickup. I would steer clear of anyone on the Patriots. I don't know what to expect. Their passing game is horrid. Cam Newton might have to run the ball about 15 times himself. I had previously looked at James White. That busted out. I don't know that there's anyone on that team I trust going forward at the running back position to get like a lock of carries. Philip Lindsay, questionable, but I would consider him in a reach. I mean, again, concussions, you don't know. You don't absolutely know. And obviously with the Broncos and the COVID situation, you doubly don't know. Which again, you're reaching. No matter what you're doing, you're reaching. I think that's the problem is at this point in the season.
It's kind of like shots in the dark.
Yeah, there are no real surprises. So if someone is low as like Carlos Hyde is on the board for you, even though he's probably not playing.
Yeah, I don't know. And the thing is, it's where Carlos Hyde is one
Sunday morning questions.
Yeah, I was looking at to where I would say if he's available, pick him up. And the reason why. Also, we will get to the fantasy question in chat in 1 second, so don't go nowhere. But Carlos Hyde is one where I wouldn't be afraid picking up and kind of doing what you said, stash until Sunday, see what the Sunday situation is. Because if Carson isn't playing or is limited, and Carlos Hyde is getting the 15 snaps he got against Arizona, he might have a touchdown against the 49ers. Like we said, the 49ers have played shit teams. So, there's a chance that he could get his against the 49ers.
How about the other side of that? The 49ers, Jeff Wilson, back on the IR because of his ankle. So now you're looking at McKinnon and Hasty. Yeah. Hasty could be the hot name in fantasy. What do you think?
Yeah, I like McKinnon better, but that's just because there's a track record there. McKinnon to me, I know what I'm getting from McKinnon. Hasty, I don't know. The only constant I know from that team is when Raheem Mostert is out there, you start him. That's all I know. Other than that, it's a crapshoot behind the backfield for the 49ers, to where I don't think this is a easy situation by any means. I know for me, I still I saw that Matt Madison was in our personal league was there because I have Dalvin Cook and he's questionable. I picked him up just in case. Running backs are very fragile. Sanders is out. Mixon is out. Jones is out. McCaffrey is still out. Dave's just like, Ricky, stop naming my running backs at this point.
It feels like a personal insult after some point. I'm just trying not to be offended.
But it's just if you don't have Gio or if you don't have Williams, maybe try to make a trade. Do what Dave did with me. Offer somebody that you're like, you know what? I can get rid of this person even if, because the thing is that person might not need Williams or need a Gio this week, but could use the guy that you're not really using, and that running back can help you this week. Kind of like what you're trying to do, Dave, with me.
Yeah, I tried to toss out a decent trade, I thought, with an Amari Cooper, someone who, again,
I'll think about it. We still got time till Sunday. He'll get
you his touches. Doesn't matter if the nooch is back there or not. But,
I didn't know you were so high on Will Fuller. I thought like getting a Will Fuller from you wasn't a like.
No. Will Fuller being traded to the Packers means Will Fuller's a fucking 20-point a game
But
guy.
what if he's not traded? Like I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking Will Fuller is a Texan.
No, I'm thinking Will Fuller's getting moved. That Texans team is dog shit right now.
Dave's like, how dare you?
If Will Fuller doesn't get moved, I will move him to you. Let's put that way.
The question coming from fantasy is from I'm gonna screw that up. Basically, ISO is what I'm gonna call it. ISO. Would you start Rojo or Deontay Johnson this week at flex full PPR?
That is a tough one. I lean into Deontay Johnson because of that team. What?
Mm-hmm. You're starting Claypool and Johnson, you said earlier.
Yeah, I mean,
you're double dipping.
I'm 100% in.
You don't double dip the chip.
I'm 100% in on this Pittsburgh team over the Ravens. That's why I like Deontay Johnson over Rojo. He gets such a share of targets. I was shocked last week at how often he was targeted and the situations he was. So I think that he's guaranteed to get 8 balls thrown at him a week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rojo is a situation where it's a crapshoot in that backfield.
Yeah.
I have Fournette. You have Rojo. It's a toss-up. Depends which guy. I think it's basically like you get a series, I get a series. Best guy goes forward, and he gets the majority of carries for the rest of the way. The other guy's kind of that bonus piece out there. So, I mean, the better floor is Rojo. The better ceiling is Deontay Johnson. It depends what you're looking for, really. If you need that flex spot to hit, then you would go Rojo. If you're like, hey, the way I win this game is this guy pops off for like 15, 20 points, Deontay Johnson's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at last week, Fournette got 15, Rojo still got 10. The Giants are not that good of a team to where you might look at it and like both guys could be like, yo, we're both eating today, boys.
Right.
Where the thing that worries me about Johnson is the fact that I feel like the only reason he got all those scores last week was because Malcolm Brown covered Claypool like a pig in shit.
The whole field, he was just on him.
Basically, yeah. Like Claypool was the pig. Malcolm Brown was that shit around him where he's just like, I ain't fucking moving at all. Yeah, I'm just here for you. Where that's to me where I don't feel like
that kind of a corner on
the Ravens. Yeah, they don't.
Corners. They have a good secondary, but is there a shutdown corner who you can put that man on an island? I don't know. And especially with Johnson's speed in the flat.
Yeah.
Whew, I don't know. You lean in Rojo though.
I would say Rojo. Yeah.
Rojo. I say high floor Rojo.
Yep.
You're projected to win by 9 with Deontay in. If you're projected to win by 9,
projections aren't everything though.
I would probably lean Rojo though.
Yeah, I mean my gut tells me Rojo. Rojo.
You go Deontay Johnson for that big upside. If your projection is over, you go with the floor guy in Rojo.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a tough decision. I'm in the decision, Dave, of I'll ask you in our ESPN league, if I don't, let's say I don't trade Jamal Williams to you. This depends on if I have Jamal Williams on my team.
Sure.
Do I play Justin Jefferson or Jamal Williams at the flex spot? Because I'm not going to sit DK. I can't sit DK.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson will eat some good yardage for you out there. That's one of the things that he's just very good at football. But primary running back and passing game, like I think Williams will probably get more points. Okay. If I'm being completely honest. Like, and that's someone who has an open trade with you.
Yeah.
I'm going, yes, I fully acknowledge that Williams will get better points this week. But long term, who knows? Because next week Aaron Jones comes back, his game gets completely cut down to like he's now getting 3 touches a game, 4 touches a game upside.
Yeah.
Like, no, Justin Jefferson's gonna smoke him week in, week out.
Yeah.
Jefferson's got freaking 30-point week, 25-point week. Like, he is your pop-off guy. He is OBJ of like 2017.
I am nervous about like I saw on ESPN they were like is he officially a start him and sit him? I would love for him to be that guy, but the last time I bought into that this season, he didn't play well that week. So like there was a part of me that was like, ugh. And also thank you for the cheer, ISO. Go Texans, he said with a frowny face because he's a Texan fan.
Nice.
But yeah, that's...
You call their team shit. All right.
He acknowledged that they're not doing good. Like, they fired their head coach, man. Like, what do you expect?
I apologize.
Maybe they'll get Bieniemy. Who knows? But Dave, before we go on into our picks, we do have Wet Boys today. There was a game that happened last night. It's just me that has the Wet Boy, though. I got to give props to my guy, Julio Jones.
Yeah.
My guy in fantasy. He didn't have any touchdowns, which I guess was but he had 13 points in a non-PPR
He popped off
where
early,
I have him.
And then he showed up late. Like, that was the thing. Like, the middle of the game, he disappeared in quarters 2 and 3. Yeah. I don't know what happened to him or what the game plan was at that point. And especially with losing Calvin Ridley, I expected Julio to be like insane. So, yeah, no, Julio, great game. Happy to see him return to him.
Thank you, Todd Gurley, for scoring that touchdown.
Yeah,
because,
Brian
he helped me out.
Carries out there, though. Any concerns?
No, not right now. I was concerned when he only had like a point. But I mean, Todd Gurley's been doing well for me all year. Like there's a reason why I am the Gurley man, Dave. Because I'm the Gurley man. But Dave, let's get into our picks. How we do it is we go through every game on the slate, make our picks. And I don't know. Oh, I did make a pick for the one that I had not. I did that earlier today. But Dave, let's start with a good one. Patriots and Bills. Patriots, not really a good team right now. Cam Newton knows that if he plays like shit again, that he ain't going to have a job much longer. Jarrett Stidham is waiting in the wings. He was benched last week for him. The Bills, though, they almost lost to the Jets, which is, that's something in their own right.
Yep.
What do you expect from this? Does Cam Newton and the Patriots get back on track, or does Josh Allen and the Bills get back on track?
Josh Allen and the Bills get back on track. They had a rough stretch in their schedule where they looked real bad for a couple weeks there. I think that they can beat this. I think this Bills team can beat the Patriots. Patriots team seems to just be lacking in talent in a lot of places, and especially now with the best cornerback on that team in Stephon Gilmore being rumored heavily in trades.
And you know who's out for this week with knee surgery? Julian Edelman.
Edelman, yes. Yeah, he had a bit of the scraped off there on his meniscus. I'm not a doctor.
The meniscus. The knees.
I'm not a doctor.
But yeah, like I just try to pretend to be one on Twitch.
I'm taking the Bills in this game. I do think Cam does enough to stay out there, but I don't think Cam can win this game with literally no weapons. Literally none.
The thing that concerns me is the Bills' offense, and the reason why it concerns me, maybe it shouldn't, because the Titans and Chiefs are good teams. Titans have a good defense. Chiefs, their defense isn't dog shit, but their offense is better than their defense.
Yep.
But also against the Jets, he only put up 18 points, and maybe the Jets' defense is as good as they say it is. But for me, that's my biggest concern. Is this going to be a 14-12, 14-10 kind of a game, and the Patriots just squeak it out? That's what I'm worried about. This Bills team needs to get back on track. I am going with the Bills, but I'm not the line is Bills by -3.5. The over-under is 41. I'm going to take the under by far because I don't think this is a high game. I think this is 17-10 Bills win.
Okay.
17-10. I'm not confident in the Bills offense. I'm not confident in the Patriots. The next game, Joe Burrows. He plays at home. He's coming in. The Titans come into play, Dave. Can the rookie get it done against the Titans?
No.
Or is this Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry going to run right over? Is this Hulkamania's going to run right over you, brother?
You're damn right it is. This Titans team is damn good. They are not going to lose to a Bengals team that is as woeful as it is. Joe Burrows is good. He's going to probably throw the ball about 55 times this game. With Gio as his primary back, I don't really love that run game. They got a lot of problems on that team. So no, the Titans are a polished team. Jonnu Smith, one more week, 1 week healthier. Like I feel like he's gonna have a bounce back week finally now. Because last week he played, but he wasn't like 100%. He did miss a touchdown grab, which pissed me off quite a bit, but it didn't cost me anything. That's okay. So. Yeah, I'm definitely rolling with the Titans. Huge win this one.
Yeah, I'm going to say, like, this is in shades of their win against Buffalo where they won 42-16. Like, expect that kind of a game.
They can
like,
run it up, yeah.
The fact that the Titans are only a -6.5 by Vegas shocks me.
Yeah, especially with Dunlap being shipped out. So you lose quarterback pressure. How are you going to get better? You don't.
I mean, the spread is at 6.5, leaning towards the Titans. I'm going with them to have a big win.
7 by Sunday opening.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Titans with the win, though. And, Dave, I'm going to be honest. This week, I was looking at the picks.
Yep.
We're not this is not the, hey.
Are we like the same?
Yes,
like the whole
except
way
for one. Except for one game, we are the same. Like, I looked at that earlier, and I was like, this is just one of those weeks where there are not a lot of
it's the one that I literally can't pick against.
Yeah. Like, that's just the only one that I saw. Like, I'll get to the other one, but
sure.
Raiders, Browns in Cleveland. Browns are actually a 2.5-point favorite by Vegas.
Yeah, it feels like a snub to the Raiders. I don't know if they're just trying to make some money out here by putting the Browns as the favorites, trying to sneak some money the other way.
I'm betting I'd bet the Raiders today because I think they're going to win.
I think the Raiders are going to win this game. I think Derek Carr has had a really good season. It's gone under the radar. I think that their offense is clicking. Their defense has had moments where it stood out. So, look, Baker Mayfield he's either the best damn thing since sliced bread or he's absolute dog shit. And that's the problem. So, when you have the odds of being a 50-50 quarterback.
Mediocre team, he could have a good game. You're right.
he could have a good game. He could have a bad game. I'm thinking this is a close and competitive game, but I am going with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the side of, let's see. Let's go 32-26. Raiders with the win. Like, this is one where, like Eric said, Derek Carr is on his contract year.
Look, what happened? I mean, like, that's the thing. Derek Carr was about to be a star in this league. If you remember a couple of years ago, he was leading the Raiders to an insane season, got broke, and then it's like, all right, well, the legend of Carr has got to start over.
I made a bold prediction when that happened, Dave. When John Gruden came in, it was Brandon and I were doing a podcast. I can't remember if it was the Onside Kick or the Primetime Podcast. Yeah. I said Kirk Cousins will not pan out in Minnesota, and we will end up trading for Derek Carr. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen anymore because Derek Carr is playing good.
I wish the Bears, and he was a target we had talked about this offseason. I wish the Bears had traded for Derek Carr rather than Nick Foles.
Is it a contract year? Because Spot Rack has 2 more years on his contract. Yeah, I think Derek Carr has 2 more years on his contract.
Unless they have like one of those like easy out years where it's like, very little guaranteed money. But he's a QB, so I don't know.
Yeah, Spot Rack doesn't have the potential out, but hey, they might be wrong. But yeah, Raiders win this game. And maybe that's just me because I'm a Browns hater that I'm going with that one. Do the Lions get the win over the Colts, Dave? Like, this is a game where I feel like the Colts are the easy answer. The Colts are a 2.5-point favorite if you're looking at Vegas. Lions gonna lion though because
they just got something special, man.
They're 3-1 in their last 4, and that one loss was a 35-29 almost win against the Saints.
Yeah, the Lions are just so close to being very good, and it's the most Lions thing you could ever see. Like it feels like as a franchise they've been cursed, partially because obviously the Megatron deal where they just won't pay him out still, and that pisses me off. So I'm gonna go against the Lions here. I think the Colts win this one. It is very much a toss-up though of will Phillip Rivers cost the Colts this game, because that's all it is. It's their defense is so good.
Their offense can be good. They've got weapons out there. We talked about the struggles with T.Y. Hilton. We talked about the struggles out there. We know their running game is questionable at times. So, like, I just believe in that defense. Now, the problem is, I watched a video today of, like, amazing plays that were, like, game winners that weren't kind of a moment.
Yeah.
And the Lions were on there about 7 times.
Yeah.
And it just hurts right here. Like, right there. It had the Megatron, the touchdown against the Bears that never was. It had, like, 3 more. It was just a lot of Lions plays. So, like, I understand the frustration. I just can't pick the Lions, even though I think the Lions are actually they're close. It's a very close. I would not take the 2 point. Like, it's gonna be very close.
I have it's just changed, Dave. So I went out of the page, reloaded the page. The line has changed, Dave, while we were doing the show. Now it's Colts -3. So they got half a point while we're talking.
Went up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does that change anything? You still not taking it?
3 points. No, because that's.
I can't believe that just happened.
I might take the Lions +3 then.
Yeah, I mean, while you were talking, Dave, in my head, I almost flip-flopped 5 times. Look, but I gotta pick the Colts. Like, I can't do it. I can't go like the and go lone wolf like they would on NFL Network, Dave. I can't do it. I won't do it. Also, Phillip Rivers, I will say, kind of some nightmares because last year he was in Ford Field and the Chargers blew him a game that he played a perfect game, and it was his kicker and the team, the defense. That. It was like, can they win the game for Carson or for Phillip Rivers right now? Because they ain't doing it.
Yeah,
Dave, our next game, Kirk Cousins sucks. Aaron Rodgers is good. Packers
Good's
win.
an understatement.
Like, Packers are a 6.5 favorite. They should be like a 14-point favorite. This game will not be close. Not close.
Well, the problem is we saw what happened the first time.
Garbage time. Yep, garbage.
Going to be a lot of garbage time in this game because this will not be close.
No,
so I am taking the Packers. I don't know about that line though, so that's the problem. Packers will win the game. I can't guarantee that many points in between because by the end of the game, Justin Jefferson may get like a 75-yard touchdown. Like it could happen. Could happen out there.
Yeah, like I am not.
I don't know why you're not getting Rodgers some more help though. Will Fuller, we heard they lowballed the fucking Texans. They not know that Bill O'Brien left town.
Yeah.
They're like, so we've got this bag of balls over here and a vending machine. It's a Fanta vending machine.
Is it the it's a David Justice trade? Is that what you're trying to
I'm trying to toss that out there, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, for those you don't know, I'm a Vikings fan, and I hate my team right now because they are a pile of dog shit. And
lots of dog shit.
Yeah, a lot of dog shit right now. Maybe I'm gonna smell something when I go out in the living room. Maybe Sharpie left me a nice little steamer there for me to pick up.
You gotta take those dogs out more.
I mean, Kirk Cousins, he's garbage. Shouldn't be the quarterback of our team. Packers get the win and break my heart even more. Dave,
I was getting excited for next year's quarterback draft.
If we get I'm not 100% sold on Fields yet. Like, maybe that'll change when I die. Like, there's only 3 of them. That's the problem. Like,
well, yeah, there's 3 at the top.
In last year, I felt like there was more. The Sam Darnold year, there was 5 of them. The Sam Darnold year.
You could go after a practice squatter down there in Tampa Bay.
Talking about who's talking about Tampa Bay? Josh Freeman.
Boy.
Why did you say Josh McCown? No, you gotta just tell me the name, Dave, because I'm blanking on it.
I would love to tell you the name. If I could think of the name, I would tell you the name.
So his first name is Josh?
Right, he was like the number 12 pick or whatever. He was on Arizona. Then he was on Miami. Now he's on the practice squad.
Oh, Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen.
Thank you.
You're right.
Yeah, Ricky, don't ask me for names.
I was like, Josh Freeman and then Josh McCown came to my head. Fuck it. I would take Josh Rosen at this point.
He's on the practice squad down there in Tampa. I would not be shocked.
I'd take Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point. Like, fuck it.
I'm shocked that he is not already in Dallas.
Yeah, I would. Well, because they're entering the tank, Dave. They want to try for Trevor Lawrence because the next game, Dave, Jets-Chiefs, this is one where the Chiefs...
What's the line?
I want you to guess the line. That's how high it is.
14.
20.5.
What? I've never seen a line that high
I
in my life.
I've never seen this. It is 20.
I've never seen that.
So the line is 20.5. The money line is plus 1,400 with the Jets, minus 4,000 with the Chiefs. Don't put money on the Chiefs. You're not going to make any this time.
I mean, the Chiefs win this game, but like,
Jesus Christ.
The only way the Jets win this game is a series of Tanya Harding incidents. And you just go down that sideline for the Chiefs. Everybody gets a fucking crowbar.
Just Darnold with the lead pipe.
That's, man.
Like
I did not. I had no idea.
I saw that, David. I don't know if you saw. My eyes just were like, whoa.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous number.
This is a game where obviously I am picking the Chiefs, but my heart will be rooting for the Jets all day. The gosh darn Jets, to quote
Sam Darnold could be your quarterback next year.
I wouldn't hate it. Anything's better than Kirk at this point. Hell, I'd
about to get Trevor Lawrence on, then they don't need Sam Darnold anymore.
Dave,
Sam Darnold with Bears.
Dave, I'm almost at the point where maybe Mitch Trubisky's better than Kirk Cousins. And yes, that is meant to be a joke, and how fucking much I hate Kirk Cousins right now. Don't want him anywhere near my football team. I want a divorce from Kirk Cousins. That's where I'm at. Dave, Rams Dolphins. Does Tua get his first win against the Rams in Miami? Rams are a 3.5-point favorite.
I'm gonna let the fans in on a secret. I did not pick this game. I did not pick this game because I want the storyline of Tua starting his season off with a win after.
Do it, Dave. Like, you know you want to.
I was so happy for Tua, and then the Ryan Fitzpatrick interview happened, and like everything just came down to crashing down. It was like, oh. My heart hurts for this guy. Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's nothing but professional. He's a great guy. He doesn't deserve this.
Monday to a Tuesday show, how that flipped.
And we talked about how, he's back flipped again, by the way. He's been great in the clubhouse, apparently, for the past week. He's been nothing but professional. He's
a character guy. He's had time to get over it and accept it.
But, like, everybody was like, well, I mean, like, is Tua actually better than Ryan Fitzpatrick? And I'm like, if you have to ask that question out loud, did you forget who Tua was in college? Like, he was the most dominant quarterback. I don't even know when. Like, he was fantastic. So I want to go with Tua here so badly. But the Rams are a good defense, and I'm afraid of that defense against a rookie quarterback. That's my problem.
That's why I'm going with the Rams.
If it was almost any other team, I would go for Tua and this Dolphins. I think Tua will look okay, but again, he's a rookie. This is his first NFL start. Aaron Donald just broke the Chicago Bears. Yeah. And I can't say that the Dolphins have they have a better offensive line, but not that much better to stop that team. I can't do it. I'm going Rams.
Yeah,
can't write the storybook start.
Rams right away. Wait until next week when we have to do Dolphins Cardinals, Dave. Because you love the Cardinals, but you want Tua to get that first win. Then the game that's probably going to be game of the week. I hope it's game of the week. Undefeated Steelers going up against the 5-1 Ravens. The Ravens are actually a 4.5-point favorite here, Dave. I am going against that. I think the Steelers get it done. I think the Steelers stay undefeated, 7-0. Big Ben, fantasy-wise, doesn't have a great game, but the Steelers have a good enough game overall to get it done against Baltimore.
Baltimore's got a good defense. Their offense still has some places where they just run short. It's just the play calling hits a wall.
Yep.
And it seems like Lamar can be forced into situations where he can't win. Like, I don't know if it's just a situation where he doesn't have the experience to find the right play. He doesn't know where the guy is. He doesn't audible out of a situation or what freedom he has there. But that Baltimore Ravens offense seems to get held up. And I look at this Pittsburgh team, and they're elite on the defensive end, and they're elite on the offensive end. They have great talent on both sides. Minka Fitzpatrick popped off last week. We finally saw the Minka that we knew and loved. And I think that people just will continue to doubt the Pittsburgh Steelers week in, week out until they do. That's their problem. I'm taking the Steelers.
So the funniest thing from last week, because last Friday, I watched the Pat McAfee show. One of the first times I've ever watched it like live and not just the clips on YouTube.
It's fantastic.
And the funny thing in the chat was they were like, Pat McAfee goes, well, there's no way that there's not an undefeated team. And someone in chat was like, well, actually, Steelers could lose, and then the Seahawks and the Cardinals could tie. Or no, it was the Seahawks can lose to the Cardinals, which happened, and then the Titans and the Steelers can tie. No undefeated teams. And I was like, oh man, I'm kind of hoping for that right now. So there's no undefeateds in the NFL. But yeah, this is one where before the season, I believe I said in my predictions, they split the home and away. Gets thrown out the window here, Dave, because the Steelers are undefeated. I'm keeping that going. I'm picking the Steelers until they lose. Chargers Broncos. Is there any way that Air Bear doesn't get the win in Denver? The favorite via Vegas is the Chargers by 3.5.
It feels so good to be an Air Bear fan, man. I am telling you.
Fans are actually picking Denver. 53%. 53% of fans on ESPN are picking Denver in this one.
Where's the money at? Where's the money going? That's the thing. You can have more bets on one side, but where's the heavy money? That's where the sharps are.
Chargers are 3.5. Money line is minus 179 compared to plus 148 for the Broncos.
I'm betting the money. I'm betting the money is on the Chargers still. I'm going Chargers. I love Air Bear. I gush about him on a weekly basis. He's probably gonna be a wet boy again because he's literally the best rookie quarterback. He's the best rookie in the NFL, period, this year.
Did you find out your jersey size? Did you look at that Sanders jersey?
No, it's in the third bedroom. I haven't gone over there. I don't go to that side of the house anymore.
Dave's like, I don't go over there.
I literally go to like 3 rooms in my whole house. It doesn't, whatever. I'm not living in a mansion either. That's the sad thing. It's a small house.
Dave's like, it's literally the room right next to the one I'm in right now.
8 feet away from me. I can't do it, though. But... No, I'm gonna get an Air Bear jersey, hopefully powder blue, or maybe I can get like a Air Bear hoodie. Like I would wear that more than a jersey. Let's be honest.
What's your fucking hoodie size?
Medium, still medium. Yeah.
Just so you're a medium for everything. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not down. Like the problem is I got these shoulders, man. I can't get down to a small.
Yeah, but Dave's like, I'd love to, but
I'm not a medium either. I'm not a medium kind of guy. That's not me.
A medium.
But no, Air Bear's great. He popped off last week. He's popped off every week. He will continue to do so. I like Drew Lock. Like that's the problem. Coming into this year, I was a big Drew Lock guy, and it just did not work out for him. He got hurt. Yep. He never found that continuity on that offense. Tim Patrick's been the surprise of the year for this Broncos team. I really thought Jerry Jeudy would be elite.
I picked him up in fantasy to stash him.
Yep, great call. Noah Fant, his head's ups and downs. He was hurt a little bit. Targets went elsewhere. Like, it's just that Denver team, they're not there yet. This is a team that's still growing without their best pass rusher this season. It's going to take time. I think that you just have to go with the Chargers on this one. They've been rolling offensively.
Next game, Dave, because I'm with you. Air Bear lights it up here. Broncos, they're just going to... Drew Lock can play well, but the Chargers are still going to win this game. The next one, though, this is the game we disagree on. Saints at Chicago. Saints are a 4.5-point favorite. The reason why I'm going with the Saints is because of everything we talked about with the Bears. I think the Bears defense plays well enough to where, yes, Matthew Berry might be right, and Drew Brees doesn't have a good enough performance fantasy-wise to start this week. But that Saints team is good. They don't punt the ball. This could be, here's the more interesting thing. This is the prop bet for you. Is this the game where we finally see the Saints punter this season because of that Bears defense?
Yeah, I will take that bet, actually. Okay. Yes, we will see a punt by the Saints, 100%. I will guarantee it. I don't have a hammer to hammer down on it, but
hammer down. We gotta get you Johnny's Thor hammer like fucking McAfee has. Hammer down,
right? It is a absolute lock. This Bears defense does not give a fuck about who you are. Our special teams is a goddamn joke, obviously.
Yeah.
Our kick returner's a coward. I don't expect him to be out there this week.
Like Trevor Lawrence.
Also a coward. Thank you for bringing that up.
That's a draft conversation, though, not a COVID one for people who get that out of context.
Just in case anybody's uninformed, there's a video out there of me calling him coward.
Yeah. Well, if he dodged the Jets.
Now, if I weren't from Chicago, I would absolutely pick the Saints this game.
Dave's like with the Super Bowl
and Alvin Kamara dominate this game. I don't think it is going to be particularly close. I think that this game ends somewhere in the vein of 28 to probably Let's go 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go 28-13. Some weird score like that. Maybe 31-13. 31-13. Let's go for the flipsies. I like that. 31-13 on this game. I think Alvin Kamara is going to just eat yardage all day.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the weather already playing a factor. Obviously, it's going to play a factor in that game up in in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I heard the first rumor about that, and then I had to go check the weather, and I was like, oh shit, that is heavy winds. How's Chicago? Also heavy winds, as it turns out. So heavy winds, Alvin Kamara, lots of success. Drew Brees, elite short passer. So that Saints offense will still be able to move the ball, but the Saints defense, I think they're probably good enough to stop whatever we put out there on the offensive end. We have one running back. We don't have a change of pace guy. Our offensive play calling is dog shit. Matt Nagy should give up play calling duties to anyone else on that sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I would take literally anyone else on the sideline. I don't care if it's our defensive coordinator. Let him call plays for the offense.
So it's like just anybody but Matt Nagy.
Nick Foles call plays for his own team.
Yeah,
have we seen that lately? Not enough. So
I'm not confident in the Bears' offense. That's basically
neither
what
am
it
I,
comes
Ricky.
down to.
But I have to pick the Bears as a Bears fan in honor of Mark Webber, dub them E's.
Yeah, it's just I'm not confident in that. I got to go with the Saints with the win. The next one, Dave, Seahawks and 49ers. This is the game I was talking about. The other game where I was like, do I disagree with Dave? And I still don't know if I agree with my pick. I'm thinking about flopping right now because 49ers Seahawks should be a good game. If Steelers Ravens isn't the game of the week, this will be the next best. A 3-point favorite are the Seahawks. I'm just going to say it, Dave. You're picking the Seahawks. You're going with your MVP guy.
You want to know why?
Why?
Debo's out.
Mm-hmm.
Moster's out. Their second string running back's out. The third string running back is questionable. Like, their offense is on Jimmy G and Kittle. And now that's great news for Kittle fans out there. Anybody who's got Kittle in fantasy, you're like, yes, sir. But I don't believe in that team offensively to find another diamond in the rough in that backfield. Look, they've gotten amazing performances on literally anyone back there. They have one of the best offensive lines in football. And I understand that, but I have to go with the fact that the Seahawks are a talented team out there, and they should be able to get the win in this game. Russell Wilson throws such beautiful passes, even though their defense, I don't have a lot of faith. I don't have a lot of faith in that defense, but I think that the 49ers offense will not be able to keep up with what the Seahawks can lay down.
So I'm not going to flip, Dave. I'm not. And I've got a 3-prong reason for why.
Sure. Injuries?
No. The first reason is just like Aaron Rodgers last week. I think it was last week. Don't bet against Russell Wilson after a loss. That's number one.
That's fair.
Number two, look at the number 3 leads into number 2, by the way. Number 2.
How does 3 lead into 2? Doesn't 2 lead into 3?
You know what I meant. The quarterbacks of the wins of the 49er games. Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, or Danny Dimes, Jared Goff, Cam Newton.
Yep.
Not that great. Quarterbacks they've lost to. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray.
Elite.
Russell Wilson is the best quarterback that they are going to be playing. And that is reason number 3, Russell Wilson. So for me, I wanted to flip because last year they split and 49ers won in Seattle and that one is where this is. But you mentioned injuries and I was like, oh, that defense is pretty fucking hobbled up. Let's see what quarterbacks they played. Ooh, Russell Wilson is way better than Danny Dimes. He's way better than Sam Darnold. He's way better than Cam Newton right now. And he's way better than Jared Goff. I got to go with the Seahawks. I'm not flipping on it. I'm sticking with the Seahawks just like you. Although I would love to go with the Niners to try to gain one here on you, but I'm not going to be greedy. Then the 2 primetime games, Dave. The first one, Dallas and Philly. Eagles. It's very simple.
We're
it's
both thinking it. It was just like, just bet against Dallas at this point.
This line
Dallas
is Eagles 10. Eagles 10.5 is the line.
Dallas could win this game. Not even gonna lie.
Because Dalton's not out for sure. Like McCarthy's keeping that close to the vest.
Eagles can be a shit show. We're continuing the shit theme here. I don't have a lot of faith in Wentz. I don't have a lot of faith in this Eagles team as a whole. Miles Sanders continually out. You're welcome. Sorry for drafting you. It just seems like the Dallas defense is the punching bag of the NFL. And I think that Wentz can at least take advantage of that. So yes, I am picking the Eagles here, but I'm not counting out the Cowboys. I think the line is insane for this game. You said 10.5?
10.5.
That's insane.
Minus 10.5 for the Eagles. And the reason why I'm going with the Eagles is even if Dalton starts, I know maybe the Cardinals defense is like this weird thing to where it's like, oh man, they're like the last 2 weeks, the Cowboys haven't even averaged 2 touchdowns, Dave. They've averaged 13 points in 2 weeks. And I don't see that getting any better to where even if the Eagles can only put up 20, I think this is a 2017, 2016. And that's on the good side. It's probably a 20 to like either 2010, 27, 23, 26. It's probably more on that side. I am not high on the Cowboys. I think they lose this game. I agree with everyone on Twitter that's like, hey, I know every team needs a primetime game, but can we can we put Steelers Ravens on Sunday night and not fucking Cowboys Eagles? Like, I feel like primetime would want to watch that a little bit more than the Cowboys lose to the Eagles.
America's team, not this year.
So the only thing I say with that is maybe it would be like Niners Seahawks instead, because I'm thinking I had to see if CBS was a game for that Steelers Ravens, and it is. So like I'd be surprised if Nance and Romo are not on that game, and there's no way CBS is giving that up as their game of the week.
Probably not.
And then, Dave, the Monday night game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against Danny Dimes and the Giants. The fans, 82, almost 83% of them are picking the Gronkaneers. There is no line for this yet because, it's a Monday night game. We'll get the line on Monday.
Yeah, obviously it's the Bucs though. Like,
yeah.
Can you give me a reason why the Bucs would lose this game? Can you? Like Tom Brady
just
gets
injured.
off one of his best games.
Tom Brady gets injured.
43.
That's it. That's your answer. Tom Brady goes down with an injury. That's how this game goes to the Giants. Or Danny Jones doesn't trip on the 20-yard line. I don't know. Maybe the fastest quarterback in the NFL. Maybe he goes off on one.
Is this a game? We see Jameis Winston because they are winning by so much.
Jameis is in New Orleans.
I meant he was a backup quarterback.
I'm looking that up because I don't fucking know.
That's what I was thinking, but in my head I was like, I can't disassociate Jameis Winston from.
When you said Jameis Winston, I'm like, oh, I know he's
you're absolutely right. My brain had a fart there, and I was like, I forgot that Jameis Winston is the quarterback.
Yo Gabba.
Blaine
Gabbert, baby.
Are we about to see a Blaine Gabbert third and fourth? Maybe just a fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Blaine Gabbert, fourth quarter.
I put money on that. Gabba sighting.
I think Yo Gabba Gabba gets a snap this game. What's the over-under on that? What's the money line there? You got a prop bet for that?
Ooh, do we? I don't think they have any bets for the fucking for those. Let's see. Props week.
But yeah, no, it's the Giants suck. They know they suck. I love Danny Dimes, but they suck. They're going to continue sucking. They're a bad team this year.
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately,
it's just one word. Yeah, that's another prime time. That's like, ugh, I don't even know. I'm trying to see if they have any prop bets for this week. No, the only ones are from the Thursday night game.
But did you know that B-Dubs rolled out a pizza sauce?
Yes, I saw that, and I almost want to try it.
I'm intrigued.
You know what else?
Pizza sauce? Is it just tomatoey and like Italian seasoning?
You know what else I almost want to try, but I'm nervous to try? # not sponsored.
Yeah.
Domino's burger pizza.
I've heard bad things.
Ketchup sauce. It's got like.
I heard the pickles are overwhelming.
I heard it. Like I read it. Like what's on it, and that's what deterred me from getting it. But there's the burger enthusiast in me that's like.
I mean, you are a burger boy.
I want to try it one day. There's also the taco pizza, which I don't know if I would get from Domino's.
That's good.
I don't know. But yeah, the pizza wings from B-Dubs. Like I've been like wanting to try those.
I've had a B-Dubs tab open for like 4 weeks now.
My mom brought up B-dubs the other day. She's like, "You want to get B-dubs?" I was like, "It's not Thursday." You gotta get those cheapy wings, Dave.
You gotta go all the way out to for the restaurant too.
Yeah, gotta get those cheapos. But that's gonna do it for MVP Sports Live today. Thank you guys for checking out everything. Thank you to Izzo for the cheers as well. Thank you for Eric who stopped by in Twitch chat. Make sure to join that Discord if you haven't already. Link down below in the description or exclamation Discord into Twitch chat. Get you that. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids is how you go ahead and do that. You can also throw us a little subby sub on Twitch, where we're live every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids. We're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. That's going to do it for Dave and I today. Dave's going to put back... Oh, is that how we end the show? I got to get my mask, though, Dave. I gotta get it out. We're just two half of the MVP Justice League. Let's see. I gotta end the show with this, Dave.
I figure this is a good, you want to put this as the screen grab, right?
Maybe.
Probably
See,
not.
without my glasses, I think it looks more like a rabbit than a bat.
It really, it does look like a rabbit, yeah.
Like, I gotta look. Yeah, I'm the rabbit man, not the Batman. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us for this spooky Halloween episode. I'm gonna fix my cape really quick. The spooky Halloween episode. Hope you guys have a great day in fantasy and everything. And as always, have a good day, everybody. Now, can I click the right one? Yeah.
I hope so.
Look at